If you're constantly clicking, zooming, and wasting time moving around the chart, let me tell you that you are slowing your workflow. But don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to show you the shortcuts that pro use on Forex Tester Online to reduce the times of backtest and backtest entire years in only a couple of hours. And just let me tell you, if you don't know how to get to this chart, below in the description, you'll find the video how to start your first backtest in less than 2 minutes. And there you'll be able to learn how to get to the stage and learn the basics of backtesting on Forex Tester Online. But let's start off with the speed. So how can we increase speed in backtesting? Well, first let me tell you that in Forex Tester Online we have 3 types of backtesting. We've got the complete manual backtesting, we've got the semi-automatic backtesting, and we've got the completely automatic backtesting. So let's start off with the manual, and as you know, manually backtesting is basically just scrolling ourselves through the chart. But here we have a few shortcuts to speed up this manual backtesting. And obviously the biggest feature that we've got is the go to feature. So as you can see up here, we can see go to, and this will help us go to different sessions, specific price times, and price crosses. So let's say my personal strategy works on New York, so I'm going to go to the opening of New York, and it'll take me straight to the opening. Or let's say I want to go to the silver bullet session, it will take me straight to the silver bullet session in just one click. That will avoid already loads of time of scrolling through the chart. But another thing, we not only can go to sessions, we can go to the next open week. So if I just click here, it will take me to the next open week in case I only go for 1 or 2 trades a week, and when I've got to take profit, I stop trading for the week. Or we can go to different scenarios like historical moments as the 2008 financial crisis, the 2022 rates policy change, the COVID-19, and many others that I can go straight to that moment and test obviously my strategy. But in any case, we've got a few more like any order close, previous Asian high, psychological levels, or previous daily bar high. And obviously this is just a start, but it's highly beneficial if you only work, let's say, on the London session, New York session, or the Asian session, because obviously I can just go here and straight go to where my setup happens. But it doesn't stay here because obviously we have this go to feature in indicators. So if I go to any indicator, let's say the RSI, relative strength index, let's place it down here, and as you can see on the relative strength index, I've got the moving average and the RSI. So let's say I want the price to cross this moving average. So just left click on the RSI, go to the RSI crossing, MA, boom. Instantly I'll get the crossing. But obviously it doesn't only happen here. If I come to the MACD and I enter it as it comes, I can just basically do exactly the same. If I open it up here, and let's say I want to go to crossing the histogram, the MACD, or the signal line. Say I wanted to cross the histogram, I'll just left click, go to crossing, MACD, histogram, and click the MACD, and there we go, it will take me to the direct crossing. So obviously this saves me tons of time because I'll only wait for my setup to happen and I won't be scrolling manually through all the candles. Another thing that will save us lots of time is the go-to features in the actual orders. If I come to orders, let's say I'm going to open the market and I'm going to open a buy and I'm going to put stop loss here, take profit there. Okay, perfect. I've got my order placed. Now, instead of waiting for the price to actually go to take profit or stop loss like we would normally do, I can go to here and say go to order close. Perfect. There we go. Another feature that we've got is instead of doing an actual market buy or sell, I can put a limit. I'll put my limit, let's say here, and let's say I'm going to put the sell obviously, and just leave it like that down here. And there we go, place the order, and then I can come to the limit, right click, go to order execution, boom, instantly it happens. And then I just come here, go to order close, perfect, hit the stop loss. And that's how simple it is to scroll through a lot of data without wasting any time. But here's the cherry on the top when it comes to manual backtesting. Normally if I want to open an order, I would have to right click, new order, and come to the dashboard. I've got it changed, and with only one click in the mouse, it opens directly the dashboard. How do I do this? With the shortcuts. If I come to open settings and come to keyboard shortcuts, we can see all the shortcuts that we can change. And as you can see, we can virtually do everything with just a shortcut. Obviously what I tend to use is basically the bar forward and back for my mouse. Instead of going forward and backwards up here, I do it on the mouse. So obviously this saves me time when I want to like just fine up to get to my precise setup. I just move the bars through instead of going to the go to functions. Obviously if I've got to scroll through the entire day, I'm going to use the go to feature. And then to change the new order, basically I just need to come back to shortcuts, and we'll be able to see if we come down to trading new order, I've got it on the L. Then in this case the L on my mouse is switched to one of the buttons. So obviously I'll just, with one button on my mouse, I'll just open strictly the new order. And these are the tips to actually speed up your manual backtesting. I would love to know in the comments if you've tried it before. And as well, let's follow on, because it doesn't say here. Now we need to come up with the semi-automatic backtesting, because let's say my strategy is completely mechanical and I can set up with a set of rules how my setup happens. So let's say I've got an RSI. Okay, I'm going to trade with the RSI, so let's include it back again. And now I want to trade when the RSI comes to the 70 or the 30 level. So what do I do up here? If I come up here, I can create and manage automations. I'll get this dashboard here. So let's say when the bid price of the USD is bigger than specific value. In this case, I'm going to use the RSI, so I've got to change this here to an indicator value. So let's go here. So the indicator value, in this case, it's the RSI, or the moving average that is included in the RSI. In this case, I'm going to use the RSI. And the condition is that it's greater or less or equal. In this case, I want it to cross. So when the price crosses from the bottom to the top, so obviously the RSI has come below the level and come back up, giving me the confirmation that I can enter the trade, then I'm gonna enter. So in this case, if it comes below the 30 level and it pops back up, so let's include the 30 here, it's going to stop. So if I create this, how do we do it? Basically, I just need to press play and max the speed out and wait for the price to actually go through and come below the value and crop back up. So there we go, the price has touched and probably come up again in the same bar, and that's why it has stopped. And this is how simple it gets to actually trade your strategy in a semi-automatic way, because obviously we can create all the optimizations that we need. Basically, we can just add a condition here and add another condition and as many conditions as we need. And as well, we can change the action that we want it to happen. In this case, I want it to stop, but obviously we can change it to show toast notifications, set testing speed, or close all the positions. Let's say we're using a martingale or we're using some hedge strategy, and when certain conditions happens, we want all the trades to close. Well, this will be great because obviously we can close all the positions in one swoop without having to calculate by ourselves. Another thing that we can do is add an expiration. So let's say if this setup doesn't happen in the next X amount of time, so I can say 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month, then I don't want to place the trade, or I don't want it to stop anymore because it's invalidated my previous setup. And now comes the cherry on the top, the complete automatic backtest. So now if we come down to here next to journal, we'll be able to see robots. If we click on here, we'll get this nice dashboard here where we can upload our personal robot. That in the case, if we want to test our robot on Forex Tester Online data, that we, as you know, we have millions and millions of data in our platform, and the best part is that it's completely web browser, so you don't have to download any data on your computer. And believe me, that years and years of data of the markets take a lot of storage up, so having it all in the web browser is a spot on. And like I say, you can test it here because all this is tick by tick data, and you can test it just by having your license in Forex Tester Online. So like I say, you can upload your trading robot, or you can browse the library with the robots that we've got here for an example. So let's say we're going to use the Martin Grid robot. So just click in here, use robot, and here I can set my initial lot size, the lot multiplier, the max positions that I want, the grid step in pips, the grid profit, and the trend simple moving average with magic number as in any trading robot. And I just press apply. And as you can see, here it activates down here. And now the only thing we need to do is sit back and wait for our backtest to finish, because obviously it's going to go all through all the chart for us, and it's going to give us a final result. As you can see down here in the journal, it's just generating trade by trade by trade by trade. And now let's say the backtest is finished. So we just need to come to analytics and analyze how our trading robot has done. And the best part here is that we're going to get a full analytics that we don't get in any other backtesting platform. And especially as well, we've got the analytics inside that will analyze your strategy with our professional algorithm created by a professional trader, and it will analyze the points to improve and the strengths of your strategy, so you don't have to do it and you can just focus on improving your strategy to start making money on the market. So now you've learned how to go quickly through the charts like a pro. The next level is context. And that's why in the next video that you're going to find just down below in the description, I'm going to show you how to see multi-chart in Forex Tester Online and how to analyze different charts at the same time so you don't lose any more trades. And if this video has helped you out, please leave a nice like and a subscription to the channel. My name is Jack, and I'll see you next time.